All right, so friends. Okay, who is online? Who is online? Okay, guys, let's do this. Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah. All right. Stop human trafficking. It's a crime against humanity. No more trafficking. It's over now. Stop human trafficking. It's a crime against humanity. No more trafficking. It's over now. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. All right. Good evening, friends. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. Depends on where you are watching this webinar from. It's 7 o'clock. Yeah, I know. Okay. Yeah, so my name is Ikes. As you know, I'm your host on this Take My Hand webinar. Today, we'll be talking about what's human trafficking. Okay. This webinar is powered by Ikes Isaac Ibano Foundation. And as time goes on, I'll be reminding us time to time on what and who we are. For today, I think we should go straight to the point. So, what's human trafficking? Anybody? Please kindly type in the comments. I need to see your comments. I need to let me know what you think. If you're getting value from the webinar, keep the likes coming in. You can share with other friends. These are social issues that they bother us every day, and you know, most people don't know how to handle it. All right. So, what's human trafficking? Human trafficking is the illegal trade of human beings, typically for the purpose of forced labor or sexual exploitation, right? Victims of human trafficking are often subjected to physical and emotional abuse, and their basic human rights are violated, right? So, human trafficking is a global problem. Uh, Europe is dealing with it, America is dealing with it, Africa, Nigeria, we're dealing with it, you know, Indians are dealing with it. Every corner you pass, you're going to see human trafficking. People being trafficked, affecting millions of people worldwide. And it's this is actually uh, an organized crime. From coercing the victim into following someone to somewhere, in the name of one thing or the other. Before you know, the story will change. So a lot of this happen in our day-to-day life. So human trafficking is the illegal trade of human beings, all right? Typically for the purpose of forced labor or sexual exploitation. Victims of human trafficking are often subjected to physical and emotional abuse, and their basic human rights are violated. So anytime you are being abused emotionally and physically, and your basic human rights are trampled upon, that rings a bell and it's a signal for you to know there's something wrong going on. You could be a victim of trafficking. So human trafficking is a global problem affecting millions of people worldwide, and it's often linked to organized crime. Okay. All right. Thank you, Michelle, for joining in. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So, what are the forms of human trafficking? Human trafficking can take many forms. This includes forced labor in agriculture, mining, construction, and domestic service, as well as forced prostitution and sexual exploitation. Victims of human trafficking may be lured with false promises of employment, education, or a better life, or they may be abducted or coerced into trafficking. What are we saying? We are saying that someone, let's start from the grassroots. For instance, a brother could call another brother, oh, hello, bros, please could you give me or help me one of your child, either a son, a daughter, or a son, a male or a female, to come be with me, stay with me. I promise I'm going to pay her school fees or his school fees. I'm going to take care of him. I'm going to take care of her. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Let them just, help me domestically. Let them, do some domestic work for me. I'm going to put them in school or put them into a trade or a handwork. Yeah, that sounds enticing, right? Sounds cool. Sounds good. But at the end of the day, you discover that by the time this person takes your child, your daughter, or your son, brings them on to their place, in quotes, the promises they promised, you know, I'm going to take care of this person, I'm going to put them in school, I'm going to do that. Before you know, the story will change. The child will start experiencing domestic violence, abuse, start beating the child. They'll start, abusing the child emotionally, mentally. The promises and everything they have promised, you know, will not come to play. So it's a big challenge. It's a big issue. So you young people, you better listen. It's not every opportunity you jump on. Someone tells you, "Oh man, hey yo, I'm going to take care of your education, or I have a business deal for you. Just come." This generation, we are hungry for money. We're hungry for success. We're hungry for fame. We are enticed by ways that provide shortcuts, that offer shortcuts to life success to us. We like shortcut. We like making it quick, now. All right, beware. Those opportunities are going to come, but you have to be careful to know which one is genuine. Okay, so this takes the form. Some people we take tell someone of a job opportunity just for the person to get there. They take them into a farm and they force them into clearing the farm, the farmland, cultivating it, plowing it, doing everything, keeping them in inhuman conditions, places where people don't get food to eat, but they are constantly walking. There's no water, you know, they are compelled and they are forced to to go under that kind of to go under that kind of work conditions, strangers, strenuous and very tedious hardship, conditions that people are subjected to against their will. That's what we're saying, against their will. Right, that's trafficking. Okay, so some are mining, construction sites. For instance, uh, I know someone who forced another man's child because their parent or their father was owing him, and then the man was late, and forced the child to come and serve him in order to pay back, the money the dad was owing him. That's trafficking, right? That's trafficking right there. You're forcing the child, against the child or the person against their will, their wish. All right, you're forcing them you know, to go through that condition, you know, of work against their will. So that's trafficking. And then I've talked about false promises of employment, education. I've mentioned all of that. A better life. While some people get trafficked because they believe the offer the person is offering will bring a better life to them. You know, Meanwhile, it ends up in penury, misery, hardship, suffering, and trafficking. All right, so human trafficking is a serious crime, and governments around the world are taking steps to combat it. We, as an NGO, Ikes Isaac Igbana Foundation, we are taking action against it. In partnership with relevant bodies, our mother body, which is NAPTIP, Wordclef, and the rest. Devatop, yeah. So human trafficking, this has been a long standing and a way, a challenge for ages. Most people don't know that they are trafficked. All right, they don't know, because it's only when they get into the environment, or the place, or the destination, as it were, where the person who lured them into that, wait, is when they get there, they now discover, oh my, this is not what I was promised. All right, so governments around the world are taking steps to combat it. We are in partnership with bodies also to combat this. These efforts include implementing laws and policies to prevent human trafficking. So there are laws, okay? We're going to take time in another webinar, in another episode, to treat the laws that are governing, the laws that are set against this trafficking, human trafficking, or trafficking in persons, TIP. All right, so the policies to prevent human trafficking, prosecuting traffickers, and providing support and services to victims. So trafficking remains a complex and challenging problem, and continued efforts are needed to protect the rights and well-being of the people. So why has it continued to be a complex and challenging problem? Because this is actually an organized setting. From the person who is making the call to get someone to follow them, to make someone to believe them, or to make someone to agree to to their terms of offer, to the person who is going to receive them, to the person who is going to finally start using them, or making use of them. It's a chain network. So one person does the talking, gets the attention of the victim, the other person does the transportation, or the relocation of the victim, in quote, and then the other person receives, and then they hand over to the final person who is going to start violating this person, or trafficking the victim in, as it were. So right now it has become a big issue. Young people are being trafficked, ladies are being trafficked, girls, young ladies, and most of which is out of for some, is out of the poor background they come from. For some, is out of greed. For some, is out of they are out of ignorance. They are naive. Actually, they don't know that this issue exists, and this is how it all starts. So, how not to be trafficked? We have looked at what trafficking is. We have looked at the forms. Right now, we're talking about uh, how not to be trafficked. Okay, how not to be trafficked. As a young man, as a young woman, as a grown-up adult, you know, how will you not be trafficked? How will you know? Or what are the signs? What are the things that will happen or will start happening around you that you will suspect that this is actually an activity of trafficking? Number one, be aware of the signs. Learn about the warning signs of human trafficking, such as being forced to work against your will. Anytime you are being forced by anyone to work against your will, just know that those are the first and early signs of human trafficking. All right. Now, uh, having your identification documents taken away. That's under that. Be aware of these early signs. All right. What are the signs? First off, you are being forced to work against your will, to do things, to do tedious jobs, do stuff that you naturally you don't want to do, right? But you are being forced to do it. You are compelled to do it. Secondly, you are being taken. Your identification documents are taken away from you. Anytime you get anywhere and someone say, hey, you know what? We need to have your passport. We need to have your national ID card. We need to have your voter's card. You know what? We want to keep it safe. We don't want. So anytime you start hearing that, or they are requesting for your documents for them in order to keep it out of your possession, just know That's the pure sign of trafficking, early signs of trafficking. Okay, so being unable to leave a job or a location, you are being restricted. Those are one of the early signs. There are strict rules. You cannot move freely. You are not free. You are caged. You are housed. You are under. Some people it comes in form of house arrest. Some people comes in form of where you are working. That's where you stay, and you are not by order, or by law, according to the people that are trafficking you, or the person in quote, or the victim, as it were. They will make you. They confine you into a particular environment. So that those are the some of the early signs. So being subjected to physical or sexual abuse. This happens to both ladies and men, but for ladies, especially young ladies, or middle-aged women, you are being forced to sexual abuse, being forced to into sexual activity. you know it's against your will. Before they told you were going to work. For instance, in a hotel, you will be a waiter or a waitress. All of a sudden, that's not happening, and then they are introducing you to different men, telling you to go hang out with them, stay with them, spend the night with them. And those men, they offer money. They offer money to sleep with the lady, to have sexual intercourse with the lady, or as it were, or have sexual intercourse with the man, as it were, or the young guy. In exchange for money. And the slave masters, the people who traffic the victims, are the ones who collect the money, and then the victims themselves don't get to see a penny, or they get to see peanuts, just managing to get by. You dress as you are asked to, you eat what you are being given, you sleep where you are asked to sleep, and all of that. So those are early signs. So if you see these signs in yourself or others, you need to seek help immediately. If you see these signs in yourself or for others, you need to seek help immediately. All right, we're going to talk about how to seek help. So the next point of how not to be trafficked: be cautious online. Be very cautious online. This happens to a lot of young people. They especially for my women folks, the lady folks. You just meet someone who claims to be a guy or a man in a certain country, or a particular region, and they claim to be whoever they say they are. They claim to be rich, they claim to be wealthy, they display stuff for you. I mean, it could even start with the exchange of gifts. They send some monies for you, as baits. They send those money, they send stuff for you, gifts, phones, all manner of things. It could start that way, and they lure you. They set it's a bait, it's a trap. They make it look as a man. They care for you, right? They are glad to meet you. They are happy. Some come in form of relationship. They are offering you relationship. You know, in a world where some people are desperate, some ladies are desperate, some guys are desperate. You see a lady's picture, and she looks posh. She's displaying that she's wealthy. She tell you, you know what? Don't worry, don't worry at all. I'm going to take care of you. I'm loaded. And then, as a young guy, you are attracted because you hustle not the pay. You're doing all you can, working hard, but it's not just yielding results or yielding fruit. So you see that kind of opportunity, bam, you jump on it. You feel like, oh, this is where my freedom, financial freedom, is going to come from. Or the other way around, it could be the lady falling for the man. The man is offering a relationship package, and with juicy offers. iPhones, in the days of iPhones, this generation of iPhones, they are promising you an iPhone 13 or 14 Pro Max. I don't know which one is the latest now, either of it. And they send some little cash, probably in another country where they use dollars. They give you probably $100. Oh man, you're all blown up. Oh, this is real. Yeah, of course, of course. Some may be real, but most of it is not real. So there must be a reason, a motive, an interest why someone is doing that to you. All right. So you should take caution online. I had to use that example. That's not the only example, but a major one. So traffickers may use social media, okay? They use social media, dating sites, like I said, or job postings to lure potential victims. You see a job posting, you're actually qualified, you have the qualification and you believe, oh man, this is a good opportunity for me to, yeah, to be finally employed, to gain employment, because all along you've been managing to get by, so you follow the job posting, you apply, you put in your credentials, you you try to follow it up. They tell you, okay, let's meet at this location, come for your interview and blah 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 blah. So under be cautious online, be careful about sharing, your personal information, your banking details, your you know address, your date of birth, and uh passports, international passports, ID cards, and all. Be cautious, and avoid meeting strangers alone, especially in private locations. Someone will tell you, let's meet. If the location you're going to meet the person, in quote, is not a public place, please be caution. Take caution and be careful. You may as well not honor the invitation. Should be cautious. uh, Meet in a public place where there are other people, okay? Where meet in a busy place, in a busy mall, in a place where people can see everything, can see everyone can see everyone. You know, so it's a better uh, approach. Should in case, even if it's a genuine offer, it's a better approach. So number one, I said, be aware of early signs. Number two, be cautious online. Number three, be aware of job offers. All right, be cautious of job offers that seem too good to be true. You can imagine. So they will tell you, you know, they are looking for a receptionist, and the pay for a receptionist is 200K, 250K. But although it depends on the region. I'm in Nigeria. In Nigeria, the average salary for a receptionist, majorly, it depends on the organization, but the highest I've seen is 100, thereabout, 150. Yeah, but it all depends. So they are telling you, a receptionist in a barber shop or a receptionist in a sales shop for 100K or 150K. How much is the shop making? Anyway, a barber shop. Are you serious? 150K? So that already sounds fishy. How could it be? So the offers, they seem too good to be true, right? And there's such promises of high-paying jobs or traveling opportunities. You are going to take a tour. We're going to take you to Miami. We're going to take you to Seychelles. We're going to take you to Dominica Island. We're going to take you to Solomon Islands. We're going to take you to Rome, Italy, all manner of places. Fanciful places. And then because you have been wanting to travel, to leave your destination, because of hardship, because of the issues you're facing, you know you tend to jump on the opportunity, and then at the end of the day, it doesn't work out well. you know so research the company or organization and talk to others who have worked there before accepting any offer. Talk to people before you accept any of those offers that seem too good to be true. You know, talk to someone. There are people who know a lot. They've worked for some organizations and they know some things. You know, so talk to someone. Don't just make a decision on your own. Speak to someone, okay? In that way, you'll be able to ascertain if the offer is genuine or not. All right. So number four, stay connected. So that leads me to number four. Stay connected. Stay in touch with friends and family and let them know your plans and whereabouts. Let them know your whereabouts and your plans. In this life, you must be accountable to someone. We must be accountable to God first, and then we must be accountable to someone. It could be your parents or your guidance. It could be friends. There are friends. There are people that are very close to you who over time you have built rapport with, and they can be trusted. So someone should be able to know your whereabouts per time, right? It's not to say anybody wants to control you, right? It just means that you are accountable just in case of anything. Talk to family, talk to friends, call your mom, call your dad, call your brother, call your sister, call your uncle, call your auntie. It depends on the relationship you've built with any of those, right? Call a friend. Hey man, what's up? I'll be going for a meeting by so time, and this is the location. Just keep an eye, right? I'm meeting with someone I've not met before. So just be checking up on me just in case. Yeah, that's what you should do. All right. If you're in a situation that feels unsafe, try to reach out to someone you trust for help. So these days, let me give you a clue to that. These days there are apps that send signals to, you can download on your phone, that send signals to your family member as to your location. All right, as to your location per time. You're going to send that, so anywhere you're going, even Google, you can do Google Map. Google Map can also do that. You just send your location, all right, location of current location. So immediately you get to the place, send your current location to a family or a friend. Okay, all right. So that's that point. So number 5, seek help. If you suspect you or someone you know may be a victim of human trafficking, seek help immediately. Contact a local law enforcement agency, a human trafficking hotline, or a trusted organization that provides support to victims of human trafficking. Okay, so in the course of this series of human trafficking, I'm going to be sharing some phone numbers that you can call just in case you are in a situation. You can call to get to us or to our partners, just in case you're in a situation and you need rescue. All right. Okay. So all right. So in conclusion, human trafficking, has been there for a long time. What you want to do is to take very important, you know, uh, steps and caution, just like I've mentioned. I mentioned the point: how not to be trafficked. Number one, be aware of early signs. What are the early signs? You know, where you are being forced to work against your will, your documents, identification documents are taken away from you, you are being restricted and confined to a particular environment, you are being subjected to physical or emotional or mental abuse, you know. So seek help. That's under early signs. Then caution, taking caution online, you know. Do not share personal information. Don't follow job listings, you know, that that leads to potential people who are going to you're going to fall victim of. All right, and then be aware of job offers that they seem too good to be true. You know, stay connected, stay connected to someone, to family and friends, and then seek help. Okay, seek help. Now, the last thing I'm going to say. Remember, human trafficking is a complex issue, and is often a hidden problem. People that are actually victims of trafficking, they actually find it difficult to share with someone. You get to a restaurant or you get to a place where someone is serving and they are being subjected to hard labor and this thing. They find it difficult to talk to someone. When you see them, they are moody, they are not happy, they are not talking to anybody, they are quiet. You may even ask them, are you okay? They'll say yes, because the people that are trafficking them, the people that are rough handling them, have warned them. If you share with anybody, we are going to kill you. So people, they are afraid because fear has been injected into them. They are intimidated. They terrorize them. They make them feel less of themselves, and they have. That's where complex and depression, starts setting in. They don't know who to talk to. They don't know who to trust, because most of the people around them are people who are aggressive and people who just want to take advantage of them. So remember, this has been a long-standing issue. So you can save yourself a lot of stress, and do yourself a lot of good by avoiding all these things. So be aware of the risks and taking steps to protect yourself. Being aware, I mean to say, of the risk and taking steps to protect yourself can help you reduce the risk of being a victim. All the steps I've mentioned, if you follow them, you are going to quickly identify when the trace of trafficking is about to hit you, and then you'll be able to, avoid it, or move away from it, or escape it, and that's how you're not going to be a victim. All right, so I need to see your comments coming in. If you're getting value from this webinar, today we talked about human trafficking. We talked about the forms, and we talked about how not to be trafficked. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining in. And I'll see you again next week. We shall continue on this topic. We shall be going further to talk about uh, further rescue, uh, 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 rescue objectives, and I'm going to be talking about what my partners and relevant stakeholders are doing. People like NAPTIP, what NAPTIP is doing, and how you know you should be able to, how you can be able to contact you know uh, our lines, or contact anyone, contact us if you are a victim already, currently, or you are just experiencing it, or you're about to go into it. All right, so I'm going to see you next week. Keep a date, 6:30 every Monday. All right, Nigerian time. Thank you so much for watching. See you next week. All right, remember, don't be a victim of trafficking. Okay, stay safe and love you all.